HellRaisers. Mouse Sports has already won their series. HellRaisers chance to counter back after a very disappointing and dominant performance by Team Kinguin. 16-2 on Dust 2, but it's Cash. A little bit different map, slightly closed in terms of the execution.
Well, I've watched a lot of HellRaisers on Cash, actually. Last time I casted them was at Tech TV against Dignitas. The only problem they had was their T-side execution wasn't there. It left a lot to be desired, to be honest. They rely very heavily on the initial picks. If they don't get them, they look slightly lost. And that can be something that can be said for HellRaisers across the board, really. With all the team are there and arriving and hitting their shots and doing very well, obviously it's not really a problem. But when they get themselves a little bit stifled, that's when they struggle. So they will be starting on the CT side, though. So maybe they have a good opportunity here to get back into it. This is going to be interesting to see how Kinguin approach this map. Obviously, on their Dust 2, didn't really have to employ too much in terms of tactics. They just run around as a little fragging unit, mainly Scream and Rain, hitting every single AK headshot available. This map is not so easy to do that. You don't have access to so many choke points so easily. You're forced to come out very closed doors and crossfires from the CTs. They definitely have the advantage going into these sort of situations. So whether they have the tactical prowess to actually dissect the CTs a little bit more and get into the bomb site is yet to be seen. But considering what I saw in the first game, you have to favour Kinguin going into this one.
And Kinguin are going to start out T-side yet again. Of course, this time not by a choice of their own. It's HellRaisers' turn to pick the side of the map. We saw the economy play into it big time in map 1. Basically, Mo, we wanted to see his op come out against Michaelele. In fact, the first round that we saw both ops out, Mo did win the duel, but overall, Michaelele just got all the options he wanted because there was never an economy on the CT side to work with.
Yeah, they never really...
It's got to be a similar story, though, right? It's going to be a money management thing for HellRaisers to make sure he can be a factor.
Absolutely, and he can be on this map as well. Mo can work the CT side of this map very well. It's a great one for an AWP player because you've got so many different options available to you. You can go aggressive on almost every single choke point on the map. You can push into A, you can hold down B by yourself, or you can simply play middle as well. It just depends where you're feeling confident, where your spawn is, and where you're willing to go face. So if Mo can get rolling on the CT side, I think they'll have a much better opportunity. It's definitely one of those maps where the AWPers on CTs can take advantage of surprising the Ts and taking down as one player and shutting down any strategy they were going to employ that round.
So the other aspect that we have to watch is Scream again, his ability to find the entry kills.
Well, we actually saw Kinguin 16-0 VP on this map. Remember that was real life?
That was not real life.
No.
It was a video game. But the video game did occur in real life. You are dead right on that one.
But they started on the CT side then. So obviously they've got a very strong CT side. It goes without saying. We didn't get to see them actually play that much T side from that tournament. Obviously, only had to play one round. But here we go then. Looks like we're going to be jumping in. Team Kinguin will be starting on the T side of Cash. Normally, most teams here, they get the spawn, will be rushing towards B, and you use one player with utility to smoke off the CT spawn area or maybe upper, and you just get in and hope the first CT player doesn't get the first headshot on you. But I'd imagine they're probably going to do something very similar. Just choose somewhere else to go, perhaps. That's all you have to do on this map, really, is choose one area and just bail out together.
So they've got a boost inside the mid-garage on top of red in case anyone pushes forward aggressively. They'll put Dennis in the corner, and they may actually get their wish because there's a heavy stack toward that mid-presence right now. Doji has been boosted into the vents from B. Adren, he's counter boost, and Dennis is going to go. Do they spot him? They do. Dennis turns around perfectly. Fox, he's going to come into Mo, but Doji is still alive and kicking, but only for a second. It's more like drowning when he was trying to kick forward. Getting one kill, but now the advantage firmly the way of Kinguin. Not if Angel can do anything about it, and Kutcher finding it brings it back to an even keel, but it's Angel left because that's traded by Rain, and Dennis, he'll do the double in the round. Bomb goes down as well just for a little bit of extra money for Dennis, but overall it's 1-0 for Kinguin. Rather, I think that was Rain that planted the bomb, excuse me.
Really nice solid execution into the middle area as well. They ran into the CT, 3 CTs waiting for them, but it was such a nice timed push from their boost area and out of the main entrance as well. They just completely shut down the CTs. First 2 frags found. I think they lost one at that point, but took down the middle area completely. There was one CT. It caused a little bit of trouble towards the end, but ultimately, very clean round from Kinguin, and that's a great one to continue the momentum going into the second map. You can see HellRaisers maybe learned some lessons from previous tournaments, not force buying here, getting Desert Eagles, making sure they have enough money to go in to the first gun round at least, and then it looks like a very simple execution, maybe one smoke towards quad, and then coming out as a team for Kinguin now.
Walk through, but shut down. HellRaisers finding the 2 initial shots. Luckily, Michaelele has brought that back, and now with the scout, he'll tear the head straight off the shoulders of Angel. Perhaps Satanic. Almost Michaelele as Fox will now find Adren. And Bomb's gone down, so things looking unlikely for Doja to do much, although he has put himself in a decent position on the flank and looks to get the exit. Not even allowed.
So, like I said before, CTs, as long as they play the cards right here, should be able to go into the first gun round with an AWP, get it on Mo. They know how much they rely on him to get those first frags. So, I actually like this from HellRaisers, but I've always criticised them in the past of over-force buying, perhaps, and then not allowing themselves to actually get back into the game. But it seems like they're actually looking at the long game and not letting their fragging demons get the best of them. But let's see how this one goes down. You can see a full stack going towards the B-bomb side from them. 4 players over there, maybe 1 anchor towards the A-bomb side.
As Molotovs get thrown deeper and deeper toward that Z connector. Rain already looking toward highway. So mid established for Kinguin. What's the response going to be for HellRaisers? With the pistols still, they've stacked up B, but only with 3. They've got the others waiting it out in middle, and Rain's already secured both of those kills. What they haven't dealt with is Doja, who manages to find Michaelele. But that's all going to come to a crashing halt.
So we can see 2 SMGs remaining there. I think getting rid of the MAC-10s is obviously a wise investment for them. To Scream, you know, he may keep the MP7. No, he's not going to. Going full rifles here, I actually like that. T-side as well, and you've got so much money in the bank. Just guarantee this round. They know they probably have the advantage going into this one. Not loads of utility for the CTs. You can see only 1 incendiary from them. So Team Kinguin, if they want to do an execution here, will be in a very good position to do so. But it looks like something very fast coming in indeed. Going towards the A-bomb side, committing a lot of men. No one scouting on the map whatsoever. This could be a fast execute.
Well, speed's the name of it, but the problem is they've already got Kucher boosted up inside A. They may not spot him. They've flashed. He's fully blind, but as soon as his vision returns, he's able to pick up 2, potentially more, and it's a 3rd. Kucher, great spot for HellRaisers on the first gun round. It's left to poor lowly Michaelele. 1 versus 5, as the bomb is already secured in the possession of the CTs, and that A site locked down. They'll be weary of that boost every round moving forward, undoubtedly. As they swarm on Michaelele, he's going to repeat this with a nice, nifty little flash. Gives him 1 kill. He's desperate to hold on to the gun, but Michaelele does go down. Good call, though. Yep, Kutcher down to 15.
Yeah, so Kutcher getting that boost position nice and early. I assume they did the run boost getting up there. But look at this. They didn't even look at him whatsoever. So he got some nice, easy kills up there. Pretty simple for him. And when they realised it was too late, and he manages to pick up a nice 4-man. So that's a great response from HellRaisers. Good round for them to get into this series. And you can see Kinguin actually being forced to force buy. They've got Desert Eagle, Tech 9, 3 free rifles as well.
That was the weirdest bounce I've ever seen from a smoke. It looked like his teammate hit him, and it was going to miss the garage, and then it like nipped the edge of the hill and still went through. I like it. Maybe I'm crazy.
I missed it. I was looking at the other screen, so I can't even comment.
I was about to call that it was a fail, and then it still bounced in there. That's Fox Bob looking toward B. Dennis is over top of boost. Adren's just waiting in behind white right now. They've got a fairly passive hold on mid. Now he's going to go for the peek once he deploys a second smoke. A little bit deep inside the garage, though, so a chance potentially for a T to peek through that. He uses the movements correctly, but Dennis waiting all the time, and every bit of it comes against him. Rather, excuse me, as Adren gets caught. Scouting out over top of drop. Inside B, though, or rather A, they're going to look for a bit of an execution. Scream hasn't found his entry kills just yet. It's more been Michaelele that's finding the frags, but HellRaisers are responding in a much swifter fashion than what we saw on the previous map. Response frag from Mo brings it back to 4s, and he stays at quad. No utilities yet deployed to move him. In fact, there's not any Molotovs, so they've got to go in almost bare. The single smoke now gets deployed, and it might be enough for Michaelele to get close, but he's gone down, and Mo, what an unbelievable play. 4 in the round as he shuts them all down. They push onto his position, but there's absolutely no getting close. And Fox, the last one left, Mo with potential to ace. And he actually has the op staring down highway, so if Fox goes for this peak, we may, in fact, get that result. He's not. He's going to save it. There's no reason to walk out carelessly. There's only 2 seconds left.
Wow. Okay, so when you're in that position in AWP, getting 1 or 2 kills is normally that's all you're good for. But look how he gets into this round. 3 kills. I think the last one was a no-scope as well. That was absolutely crazy. Quick scope then. But that's amazing how he can get that sort of when you've got so much pressure against you, to find 3 kills in that position with an AWP is fantastic. And what a round for them to answer back with. And that's going to force Kinguin now onto an actual eco. Fox, of course, saving them 4, so they'll be playing off him, trying to find a pick. But interesting enough, Kutcher's getting a little Bison out as well. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Considered the worst gun in the game by some people.
Pipi Bison is the best gun in the game. Please don't insult it.
Sorry.
It has 60
My
bullets.
mistake.
How could it possibly be bad?
It only takes 10 headshots as well to kill someone. It's pretty good, actually.
The bullet penetration does leave something to be desired. But most things, including penetration, do. As Angel's now going to take down Michael, and he'll just line them up. Angel with the hat trick. In fact, 4 in the round as he got the opening. It's 3-3. HellRaisers answer back, so much better approach to this game than what we saw in Dust 2. Also gives Economy a bit of a boost, so it may not be as much of an issue, but they will have guns again for Kinguin, this round. No op, though. So Michael limited to the AK.
Yeah, and Fox as well is going to be stuck on a Tech 9, so maybe they're the ones getting a little bit bullied now. And this is what I'm talking about. Mo can define the rounds now. He's choosing the position he wants to go to. He'll be heading over to B this time, and he can lock that by himself. But Dennis actually opens up the fragging onto Angel, and that's a great start for them. 5 and 4 now, especially when they had the gun disadvantage. This is perfect. They just need to hold up now, and then Makaleli actually answers back with another frag. 5 on 3, and they have full mid control now. They just need to bide their time, work out what the rotations are going into, and then they can execute onto the site pretty comfortably. This is very good from Kinguin. Nice mid aggression.
Mid aggression, though, that could be negated by the fact that Adren is still looking for the peak. The problem is he's got more than a few against him, as Dennis and Rain comfortably inside now. We'll have the nade out just to make sure there's no chance for a repick. And in fact, the walls might crumble in on top of Adren. But he won't stick around to find out. Bombs inside the vents as well. They're looking to go toward B, and that might be the right call because Mo's rotated off of it. They've given that site up, and Mo, hearing a flashbang rattle off toward Checker, will now come back. Smoke's going to be late, or is it? Nope, Bloom's just in time. So Mo, no entry. And they'll get over toward the bomb platform, and that bomb will get in place. It's going to potentially be another round for Team Kinguin. In fact, yeah, already 3 members running away to save their weapons for HellRaisers.
It's pretty simple stuff from Kinguin, though. We saw a lot of it on Dust 2. Just facing together, making sure they utilize the AKs properly. Got the first 2 kills of the round, and what an amazing round it was to win as well. Nothing else needed after that. Get the bomb down. The good thing about what they did there was get those first 2 picks and control that mid area. The CTs had 0 vision at that stage, and they threw a really nice tactical smoke over the top of the skyboxes, landed on the A bomb site, and that peeled a CT away from B. They had no one in there whatsoever. So at the time they arrived and got the bomb down, the CTs had no choice but to save. Mo had already fallen back to CT spawn. He came back for a little face, but they smoked off CT spawn perfectly just in time and locked him out of the round. So CTs will be able to save 3 guns here, and more importantly, save the AWP. But that is obviously great for Kinguin. Boost their economy once again, and they get back into the game and take the lead. 4-3 now. And we can see HellRaisers have got 3 rifles, and Dosi's got 6.1k. Hasn't bought yet. There it is. But Mo went to the B pick last time. Obviously didn't work out for him. The players went towards a completely different area of the map. He's going to change his mentality up a little bit now. He's going for the fast fade in A main, it looks like.
And does he get there in time? Mo's got the corner held. What's the response? Because they know they've given this up, Kinguin, and they know this is a common play. So the initial flash is thrown, but no counter peek. So that's map control potentially lost. They now can't toy with the A site. They leave it to Fox, who finds Doja through the edge of the smoke. That was beautiful. As Doja on the second entrance from Checker is already gone. Late smoke coming back out, thrown from Highway. Adren putting that in, but he's all that's left in middle. So Mo's going to sit and hold this A position. But it doesn't matter. Kinguin are finding other ways to use the map in their favor. Not if they can't deal with Angel, though, because he's now taking down Fox. And a missed throw from Dennis on that initial flash means he's got to deploy both utilities on the pick. And, in fact, still almost blinded up himself. But good entry on B from Michael Lele. Evens the situation, but only just. In the fire doing more damage as they look to try and come back through the back. And Checkers, it's Kutcher to drop down on the first and the second as well. Michael Lele gone. Dennis is on the flank. He's found one. But he's still going to come out from Checkers and try and pick up that bomb. He's done that at least now, but if they time this accordingly, how does Mo even hit that?
No idea, but maybe a little bit of instinct from him. The best thing about that was Kutcher and CT spawn. He had to push through that smoke and find a kill. That's exactly what he did. Actually got 2 of them as well. So got them straight back into that round and locked it down completely. So that's an answer back for HellRaisers. You can see the money is really back and forth here. Both teams pretty fragile at this point, but Kinguin definitely on the back foot as they go in again with 4 rifles and Fox on the Tech 9. What were they able to do with this one? Last round they managed to find an entrance with the first pick in middle. Looks like they're going for that mid aggression again. Actually, maybe more towards A. Actually, the bomb's actually moved towards B storage. Rain pushing up in A main, seeing if he can find anything.
Kutcher's going to lob a nade. Doesn't really do anything to Dennis other than give him something pretty to look at. Fox looking at B. He's going to bounce this smoke. That'll limit his options as well, so I'm curious to see now where they're going to find map control because Rain's yet to find an opening. Kutcher's not really peeking from quad. Mozop has a very tight angle as well inside B tunnels. But Kutcher now looks getting perhaps a little bit impatient, wanting to know where they are. Why haven't they shown themselves at any position on this map? So HellRaisers have to go on a bit of a charge to figure it out. Now they're going to hear them, and it's good positioning from Adren, but the problem is it's such an awkward object to shoot through. The forklift blocking most of those bullets. He can't get the job done. Now he will, and Kutcher waiting all the time back at quad is able to pop out at a perfect moment. It comes back to Dennis, at least with one response kill, but it might be too little too late as that bomb has been dropped inside the A site. And with 23 seconds left, not only does Dennis have to recover it, he's got to kill 4 people to do it. Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
The problem with executing before you've actually made a pick or pushed the CTs back, it's very difficult to actually peel anyone away. And you go in with quite a simple execute like they did there. One smoke towards the forklift, one towards quad. They went out together like you saw. The kill didn't come in initially for the CT. We got some great info, rotated around the smoke, and they just synergized with each other, got the crossfire set up, and ultimately had a very easy cleanup on the round. Kinguin now going to be on a full eco. You can see some PT50s and some Glocks there, but not really a lot they can do with this. Looks like they'll be boosting up to middle and seeing if they can find any sort of aggression, but Mo locks it down. He's just moving the AWP round every single round.
Not able to hit that second shot. It would have made such a difference as well to secure a 2-man lead. Mind you, they're still against pistols, and look at Angel. Taking a play from Mouse Sports. We saw how aggressive they were on this map earlier in the evening. Adren now going to close Michaelele, and the pistols so far unable to do any damage whatsoever. Okay, well, of course, as I say it, never discount Scream. But it's a matter of time for him. Doja knows he's got the bomb. Gets dinked up, though. Man, Scream's aim. With a Glock. In motion. But 2 rounds, the largest lead HellRaisers have had all evening, in fact.
Absolutely. Well, this round goes without saying. This is actually an interesting buy from Kinguin. I made it suggested taking another one. You can see they actually have got 5 smokes, 5 rifles, but the Molotovs are so important, I think, on a T side of cash. It's so good, especially if you're taking mid-control. You can flush out certain areas like sandbags and connectors as well. You can work out where the CTs are. Some Molotoving off the vents as well is very important, but let's see where Mo's heading this time. He's going for that A main aggression again, and he may actually get some confrontation here, but the smokes will go down and more mid-control coming in from Kinguin. And they actually managed to get that first frag onto Angel. Good opening from them.
Mo's got the response, though. That's Michaelele. And where he was not involved in that initial fight, the HP that was lost in the exchange is still diminished on the board. As Doja again on this flank, lining it up. Perfectly played from Doja. Again, B tunnels given up, and Doja's going to close it out. Perfectly played. Yeah. They need to find a way to at least, if they're going to play passively, find a way to at least leave a player over there to negate that push.
Yeah, perfect response from him. As soon as they lost the mid-control, Doja was there in the flank, making sure he responded, and that's exactly what a CT team should be doing. As soon as you lose positional control of one area, you need to regain it somewhere else, and he did that and came right in the side and took them all out. And that's going to be a full eco now from Kinguin. This is looking really promising for HellRaisers. They managed to string together quite a few rounds now. I think that's 4 in a row. And because they've put Kinguin in a very difficult spot, they've got no utility to play with whatsoever. All 5 players heading towards the B site, it looks like. Potentially just going to be walking in through the smoke and hoping for the best.
Doja just putting some shots through said smoke. See if he can find any damage. But the problem is he's got the wrong utility in his hand when they get close enough. Perhaps should have read that one just a little bit better. This leaves Angel on the back of the smoke. Gap in it, so he might be able to hit the second player that crosses. But importantly, the bomb is already near the site. Not yet being planted, though. They need the money from this. Rain has to get this down. Unfortunately, he will, but with fire and a nade on top of him, he does eventually get turned into a marshmallow. That's Kutcher. Again, flanking. They're going to get pincered, as you like to say. Trapped inside the checkers, and it's checkmate, unfortunately, I do say, for Michaelele.
Ooh, could have been interesting.
Make that interesting, yeah, but they were holding the defuse, so.
Well, that's the best outcome Kinguin could have hoped for. They didn't really invest anything for that round. A couple of deagles, a PT50, and no utility whatsoever. So getting a bomb down and 3 kills, that's fantastic for them. But HellRaisers now do win the half. It is Slightly CT biased this map. Some would argue with that. I think it is definitely favoured towards the CTs. But now Muckalady finally gets the AWP out again. It's been a while since he pulled that out. But Mo, he's been really big on this map. He's got to be focusing on the middle area again. I think that's a very wise decision considering the mid presence that Kinguin has shown. But actually, looks like they're going to go towards A again this time. Rain going to be the point man. Smoke coming down and Adren pushing in as well. This could be quite a big frag. And down he goes. Muckalady takes care of it.
I saw that play try to be used by Mo when he held on to A main. It gave them so much control, but this time the response is much more swift. Doors open. Kutcher can potentially push forward and shut it just so he'll have the noise trigger if they try to go back toward A. Meanwhile, Michael, he still wants to spot what's going on through the edge of his smoke. That's been giving him an opportunity, not just an opportunity to peek the angles, but peek the angles with cover as he looks from one to the other. And now it's his turn to screen off the site. Molotov on Forklift. It's going to be all in on this A site once they find a pick. They're still waiting for it. Michael spotting up. How does he not move? He stays in the same position, so Michael hits Mo on the second shot. And I'm surprised there wasn't a shuffle from Mo to get out of the sight, but he must not have been aware that initial shot went toward him at all. Meanwhile, Michael through the smoke. He finds Angel. What an excellent round from him, and over the top, it's just left to Kutcher. Scopes in, not able to spot him up, and he's desperate to hit this shot before falling off a red, and luckily he hits it on the third because Kutcher found Fox.
Yeah, that was getting a little bit awkward towards the end there. Missed a couple of shots, but manages to get the fourth just in the nick of time. Interesting what you said about Mo. He did actually overface that a little bit too much, staying in the same position, didn't move, allowed Muckalady to actually just pre-fire him and take him down. So, big round there. Kinguin finally getting back onto the scoreboard. You can see that's the first in 5 that they've won. So that's one they needed to get the morale back on the team, work at what's going on, but didn't necessarily do anything that interesting. But that is interesting. Scream takes down the first headshot onto Adren and opens up the round. And that's what they're so good at, using that AK potential Scream has and just really shutting down Adren. I'm not really sure he knows what happened there.
And yeah, that's the thing. He got there so quickly. How would you know? He hit it on the first bullet, and he was at mid before the smoke was even popped. So Kinguin with a slight response. They string together this second round. Things could fall apart for HellRaisers economy. Angel's going to watch from Squeaky, or rather too Squeaky from Highway. From Russia with love. I don't think Angel's Russian. I think Angel's actually is Ukrainian. I could be wrong on that one too, though. The more you know. As Michael Lele waiting for another careless peek on the CT side. He is going to spot it, but the flash will take it away from him, take that option, and limit it. Mo's also found a response kill while we were watching this unfold, and now Angel closing off this entry. Michael Lele can't do what he did last round, but they don't account for the fact that Rain is pushed up underneath of Catwalk, so finding one more gives this a bit more of a push toward A, and Dennis finding Kutcher has the bomb up, and now Scream taking down Doja, so the first kill, and now another hugely impactful kill in the round means that Mo's got to rotate back towards Z, and he's got an op, so he will be able to close off the exit, but there's no need for an exit to happen. Scream's already going to be covering the initial take angle, and Dennis now peeks out. He's got the information, so how does Mo respond? Hold on to a gun. He's got an op still down behind him if you wanted to go back and switch for it, but he wants the round. It's round 14. They're going to force next time regardless. He might as well see if they can get this working for them. And Dennis has heard him come closer, and now Mo goes. But again, Mo, he's left his op at the bottom of middle, and he's not even going to have a chance to go get it if he wanted to.
Well, it's actually quite interesting. You look at the money in the CT camp. He could have done with saving that round because most of the team are on about $3,000. Mo will have enough to get the IWP. And he should be okay. Like, to be fair, on cash, if he can just hold an area like B or something like that, he's got a decent spawn as well. Just going for that first pick, it shouldn't even have any bullets coming towards him as long as he hits his first shot. You can see him actually opting to hold towards the B area. That's actually pretty smart. He can do that by himself now, and he will have a first shot coming in for him. Will he be able to hit this one?
Smoke out, nade as well. Shot from Mo, successful. Michael Lele gone down, so the glass cannon winning an op duel. We saw him winning that the first gun round on Dust, but Rain's already gone through to checker, so when Angel wants to retake from mid through the vents, he's spotted immediately because he comes in, and the second that popped, they turned their attention directly toward him. Gives Adren the second opportunity to come through more silently, but Rain's still waiting in the same position, and it's left to Doja. The halftime going to end 8-7. Kinguin, bit of an early stretch, answered immediately back, and then a response late to tie it back up.
Yeah, after that second round they won, I think they realised the economy would be pretty low for HellRaisers, and they went for a full-on rush B. No real tactical approach to that bottom. Let's just bail into the bomb side, see what happens. And obviously, like we said, Mo did get that first pick, but he got taken down straight away, and they swarmed the bomb site, and they're too strong. Once they get locked down and the bomb is set up, you need to be pretty special to be able to take down those guys. So, pretty good half from both teams, I'd say. Like, I think HellRaisers probably expected to get more rounds from that, considering the momentum they built up. But a nice comeback from Kinguin, considering they were down 5 rounds in a row to get 7 on the board. And considering we know how strong their CT setup can be, this is where they 15-0 VP on cash on their CT side. So that's going to be a factor. And you can see 5 sets of armor for Kinguin as well. They're going for the frags here. They don't have many other options right now.
Michael aggressively towards Squeaky, going to wait on the front of the door, so if it opens, he'll be able to turn quickly. It's such a weird position to play, though, because you're so exposed from A main if that happens. Fortunately, it's not. They're going to go all on A main, 5 in fact. But they've already hit the first shot on Rain at quad, so Michael position becomes even harder to play, only picking up the first as Angel responds. Kutcher at 4, kill wait for the cross point from Dennis as soon as Dennis wants to get even near him. But Dennis spots his shoulder first, so he winning the duel means they've got a better chance at this retake. 3 versus 3, high HP as well, favoring Team Kinguin. But the only kit they carried is now hit the deck as Dennis drops down, and Adren is going to potentially do more Scream. Come on, use your aim right now if you ever needed it, because you've got a lot of players occupying turf that you're trying to defend. Unfortunately, his aim doesn't come to play. It's Adren who gets the better of him. As Fox, with not a lot of time, is going to go down. Good shot from Angel to close it.
Yeah, pretty simple execution from HellRaisers. Walked into the A storage area, ran out together, and made the frags happen for them. There was a crossfire from the CTs, but they weren't able to get rolling. That's the thing with the CT pistol. If you don't hit the first headshot and you start spraying your USP, it's very difficult to actually respond and get back into that round. But it was just a little bit too much for Kinguin there, and that's the first round going in favor of HellRaisers. You can see they've got the 2 Mac 10 players acting as the scouts. They can walk into the bomb sites, ascertain where the CTs are playing from, and then give the call in for the rifles to come back them up from there. So that's going to be Angel working in first, and you can see the CT setup. Actually, will be showing some aggression towards middle. That's going to be Rain with the CZ, seeing if he can do any damage. Actually does manage to do a decent amount to Adren.
Yeah, that CZ in that position. It's still good on a pistol round. It's the draw speed that just makes it slightly less favorable than what it used to be. No, Molotov off on forklift just to make sure no one's going to be hiding behind it. That gives Doja more encouragement to try and come through to the site. Less angles he has to worry about. Same goes for Mo. That's why Michael Ailey's gone down in behind quad. The repeat coming out from Dennis on highway. It looks okay until Doja's Mac 10 just continues to fire. Second one's a lot easier as they're up close. In fact, so is the third as the headshot comes through. That's actually from the AK of Adren, so it looked like it was our perspective. It was not. Scream on 3. 1, 2, 3. I was saying scream on 3. You're supposed to scream on 3.
Oh, right. You're doing one of your jokes again.
One of your jokes.
So just looking at the money there, we saw Michael Eddy not actually opting to buy anything. Suggests he's obviously get the AWP out. He's not getting the armor, which is a very sensible call. I like that. Some players can invest if they know they're going to be going to the first round, potentially no nades or potentially a FAMAS as well. But Michael Eddy will be taking the AWP next round. So a full eco this time from them. All 5 men on the silenced USP. And I'm not really sure what they can do with this. I guess it's just working out how they're going to approach next round. Pretty simple standard setup for them as well, not even going to stack anywhere. So if they manage to even get 1 kill, that'll be very good news for them.
What news doth he bringeth onto the A site? As Doja opens the door, Michael Ailey's boosted onto the rear box. So he sees just with his head sees over top and into A main. Good nade out. That'll take down Dennis after the initial damage from Angel. Angel also getting onto Rain. It's all working out. Scream hitting a shot. No surprise. It is into the head. Where else could he possibly land a bullet? I don't think he knows what a body is. I want his hitboxes. As Doja. How many shots will it take toward the truck? Comical almost as Kutcher getting him behind Scream will take him down, and eventually Fox is going to have to die. Doja, he deserved it. He worked hard for that one.
Well, there's the 1 kill I was talking about. It did come to fruition. But now, Michael Ailey with the AWP, like I said, very wise choice for them to actually make sure they have this going into the first round. It's going to be very important. It can swing the round where it goes to. If you don't have an AWP player to get that first frag for you, it's very difficult to get back into the round. So he'll be opting to go towards A. Whether he goes aggressive, yet to be seen. But he's actually going to be there alone as well. He'll be boosting up and seeing what he can do with this. It's going to be boosting up on the top of quad, actually. Interesting.
Yeah, this is
unorthodox.
Yeah, very much so. May give him a bit of an advantage in the fact that they don't check it, and he's got a good angle for the first shot, but he has to fall immediately. And if he misses that first shot, I highly anticipate they'll push onto him very quickly. As we wait for Makalele to look for this shot, there is no smoke deterring it. I wonder if this would be an indication from the T side. Usually if there's a smoke out, you're not going to have an op in A, but where it's wide open like this, they should slow peek it to make sure they cover off the angle, and Adren is going to be the one to do so. Needs to be careful. Initial flash is over. Smoke, but he sees above it. Flash out. He was aimed perfectly, but he doesn't take the shot, and you thought he might. He is going to smartly extinguish the flame so he can keep his position in safety, but with this many smokes out, the AWP is less effective, so it comes to Rain, and that's a very aggressive play from Rain. I love what I see as he finds one, almost two, but not going to happen. Doja is going to turn that back. And Makalele, I'm impressed that they got onto him that quickly because the smoke was surrounding him. He almost could just sit, go silent and survive, but they took over quad with good fashion. Still no bomb plant. That's the crucial thing here. And Dennis might disallow that a little bit longer as he gets another kill, but Adren's going to close the round.
So after seeing Makalele in that position, you can obviously see why it's viable. Because once you're up there, when the smokes get dropped, you are able to see over the top of it and you get that first kill off. Unfortunately for him, he did get flashed and didn't pull the trigger in time. Got locked down, isolated at the back. Rain did try to come in and save the day, but that push was just too much for them. They didn't really have an answer back to it. And that's going to be the 12th round on the board for HellRaisers, and they're looking very strong right now. That's actually 4 in a row for them, and they get the 5 rifles set up now. I didn't even pick up the AWP. They've obviously got a very set game plan, and that's the way they want to take this one. But Dennis answers back onto Adren. CZ shot to the jugular as he pushes on, and now it's a 5-on-4 situation.
That was cute.
Sorry. I'm trying to think of a really cool word. That's the first one I came out with.
I saw your brain freeze up there while you were thinking about it. Doja's going to take down Makalele. But that's traded back because Dennis has the kill. So Kinguin with a chance to respond. They've got to do it with a single AK. As rounds are slipping against them and HellRaisers trying to knot up this series, push it to the third map. A nice nade from Kutcher adds to the chances of doing so, but still the numbers favor Kinguin as Dennis now finding Kutcher, and Fox is going to find Angel. The low HP on Dennis has no appeal, has absolutely no remorse, and it is going to be Mo who brings it back, and can he get the third? He does, Mo! An excellent play and great composure. They have to win this now.
Kinguin would be kicking themselves at that one. Lining up for him, essentially. He didn't even have to move to get 3 kills. Pretty disappointing stuff for them, but of course it's not over yet. They are on the CT side. Definite potential to get some momentum built. You can see the AWP is going to be on Fox this time. So Makalele taking it down. Maybe he wasn't feeling too confident, but I guess maybe when they're doing a B play with the AWP, Fox is your man for that job. So let's see how that one works out for him. T side are going to be heading over there. Will they actually be facing though? Looks like they're just feeding out the map a little bit, going to a normal setup, seeing what's available to them, seeing if there's any pressure from the CTs being applied. There it is.
Yeah, Fox. So secondary op. Fox not normally going for it. They keep it off Makalele, and that's what the result is. Leaves Mike inside A, though, to support with Rain. Rain's got a very forward position. We haven't really seen them use this, and they're going to go for the flash play to let Rain get in. Does he spot Angel? He does. That was perfectly executed. Angel was completely blinded by that.
Yeah, they do that quite a lot, flashing Rain into that area. He's so good at getting that first entry frag, and he's got some great intel, saw the player, calmly killed him, and now it's a 5-on-3. And now HellRaisers got everything to play for. They need to find a kill. They've got less than a minute left on the clock. Have got some utility to play with. They wanted to execute onto A bomb site. They can do it. They have players there as well. And here we go.
Kinguin's last chance to prevail, and already it's slipping away because 2 kills, Doja and Adren. Going the way of HellRaisers gives them back the A site to allow the bomb plant to come in, as Kutcher will put that down in safety. No smoke out. Now there is on the right. That was late to be deployed. Dennis going to flash through this, but his team flash. Well, I'm not sure if that was a team flash or if it actually did come from quad. I think it was his teammate had it already done so for him, and he actually got caught by it. So this is buying more and more time for HellRaisers. And as they go, watch Kutcher because he's in the hot spot, and it's a perfectly timed peak. Closing out the round will be Doja. All 3 remaining players picking up a kill, and it's 14 rounds now. This has been a lackluster CT side from Kinguin. No rounds yet to their name.
Horrible stuff. They even got the first 2 frags in. It was a 5-on-3 situation. We were talking about them not even getting back into the round. And all of a sudden they walk into the A-bomb site. Very simple execution. Find 2 frags out of nowhere. And then it fell apart for Kinguin. And now we can see 14-7. They've got a force buy out. Not a single kit on the team. 2 smokes to play with. This one is going to match point right now.
I'm going to quote you on that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Please do.
All right. I will.
Oh, God.
Because
Why are you doing this to me, Michael Ellie?
I know. Mike's got my back. As Angel now is going to pop a flash back into toward A. Mike's already made it back in behind quad, though, so safety achieved. Free kill, essentially. Does lose 61% of his health if we're going to be technical about it. If we're going to be fussy. Mike Lele, though, still has the chance to look towards Squeaky. And where that door's open inward, you can actually see quite easily down the hallway, but the same can be said for Adren, who's trying to spot on top of the site. So Michael Lele with lower HP has to be careful about that. Rain this time is also pushed up close, but they won't be going for the flash play. That'll be too telegraphed after doing it last round. Being successful on it, Angel will be ready, but he is above. He's on the catwalk, not in the corner, and Angel just walks out into that. So it's now a 2-man advantage for Team Kinguin. But watch for Mo, as he has this Dragon Lore, and he's getting a heck of a lot closer to the B site. Good patience from Scream. Needs to catch the second shot on a Kutcher, doesn't do so. That'll bring it back to 4 versus 2, and Kutcher's going to continue forward with the same sort of domination and accuracy to take down Fox. Flash comes out to allow him to potentially take Rain. It looks a little hairy, and finally a response comes in because this round also was slipping away, and you may have gotten your call, and it would have been match point. Adren able to fake out the bomb and look for an additional peek, but this time he has to hold it because it's 4, 3, 2. They're pushing on top of him. Least goes down, and what a shot. Adren has a chance at the round and nearly makes it work. Michael Lele goes down to 12 HP. But no kit, lots of time. It's not going to be match point, Henry.
It's not going to be, but what a valiant effort that was at the end. And it really has affected the CD economy. They're going to really be struggling going into the next round as well. They have saved, what was it, 1 AK they'll be able to take out of that, or 1 M4? No, an AK there. But looking at the money now, it's going to be another force buy for them. Terrorist money is very strong as Eudocia on a nice little 10k there, so they could potentially roll out an AWP if they want to. And I don't think they will. It's going to be 5 AK setups for them. And Scream, what gun has he got? And you can see the silent USP right now. He's going to take the AK, of course. But you can see how weak they still look here. 3 FAMASes and 2 actual rifles to play with. See how this one goes down. But again, this is just another huge round. They obviously have to win here, and it's going to be up against the ropes now.
Fox, though, does give Kinguin another man advantage. Same as last round. They get the first kill. Scream pays the price for that aggression, though. He goes back down to 8 HP. As Doja getting a little bit fancy, tries to spam through the garage at A main. Mo's still going to be patient here toward the toxic barrels. Bomb's beside him, by the way, so indication that they're just looking for picks where it's on the ground, and they are fanned out across the map. Angel finally going to put some pressure in toward A main. That's where Rain and this time Dennis, not Michael Lele, are waiting for him. Michael Lele's over by the E-box. Different position entirely. Does it work is another question because so far there's no smoke to cover off that position. Usually there will be on the entry, but meanwhile at B, Fox does take down Doja, so the initial entry doesn't work. Smoke now on CT, but they know there's at least one more in the site. Where's it going to be? And it's going to be Fox timing it perfectly, and Scream doesn't care how much health he has. He just wants to make sure his enemy's got less, and he's successful in doing exactly that. Leaves it down to Angel. Kinguin getting the last possible round required have now put them on the back foot because HellRaisers are looking at potentially an eco. More so because they won't even get a bomb plant in this round.
Well, you can see Dosia does have $5,700 still, so I think this is where it's going to get interesting. Obviously, Angel saving an AK, that's great for them, but he won't have any money. So the options are, it will be a reasonable buy. If Dosia could drop 2 Galils, perhaps, that would be good. But I think they know they have enough rounds on the board here. They don't need to do anything too silly. Like forcing this would be a questionable decision. Maybe dropping some Tech 9s with the rest of the guys would be a good call. But let's see how they approach this one. Finally, Team Kinguin can get some decent guns, 4 AKs in their arsenal. And they just need to take this round for round now. If they get to double figures, they could have a real chance here. This is obviously a huge one for them. They need to make sure they tie this one out pretty convincingly.
We know that flash is being set. Where is it? They're going to push through with it. The pistols, are they able to do anything at all? Because they're all pushing in. They don't have the answer for Angel, who's up close, so he does get 1 back in return, but 2 kills as opposed to the 1 definitely still works out for Kinguin, and now you can add to that total because Michael Lele caught the chasing Angel. He's going to do more than just that. The guardian angel of the A site. So double digits now for both teams. Kinguin starting a bit of momentum. There will be guns, though. In fact, there'll be lots of guns. Doja has more than enough money, and he brings out the op. No surprise. He'll toss that over to Mr. Mo.
Interesting enough that Kinguin haven't done that. Maybe they felt the AWP wasn't having the impact they once planned. Michael started with it, then Fox had to go. Maybe, like, I guess the money is not great for them right now, but they definitely could afford one if they wanted to. But maybe sticking to the 5 rifles seems to be working out better for them.
We've seen a lot of smokes on the A side too, so Michael actually dropped it off a little bit earlier to Fox, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Just again, those smokes make it so much harder to hold that position. And rather than switch the man, although they did bring Dennis over one round, they've switched the weapon.
Oh, that spam, though, from Makaleli. That was straight through the door. 100 HP down to 0. All headshots. That was sick. And that's going to be a great opening kill for them. Those of you could have been wondering what in God names just happened to him.
He almost did the same thing, though, if we look at Makalele's health.
You're right. That was a crazy exchange.
You got to wonder if he's going to ask the questioner, thinking in his head that he must have hit him, because the angle would have been similar. So Kutcher's smoke set for quad. Naturally, I would expect the Drenz goes toward red crate. Covers off highway. It gives Michael a harder time of getting back inside the site. But again, he rotated out to be more passive. He wants to play the support role now for Dennis and Rain. So Kutcher's lands in front of Rain. That's on the opposing side. Now they walk in, and Dennis through again. That goddamn forklift. You just can't shoot through it so easily. Rain has to recover from that position now. Smartly gets out of the site, using the box for coverage, and just making sure he's not going to get pushed through that smoke, because Michael will be able to help him in that position, but not if he gets too far overextended. But now they can take the site back because Scream's there to help, and Fox will eventually find his anticipated target. It's 14-11.
Yeah, that execute was really taken down with that initial frag as well. They're missing the man. They didn't intend to lose anyone going into that one. Came into the bomb site, like you said, Rain being very clever there, ducking and weaving between the bomb site and then rushing the bomb as it went down as well. That was such a vital frag from him, and it picks him up the 11th round now. And all of a sudden, they look like they're alive. The HellRaisers are now onto an eco round, no armor, one set of utility. That's going to be Angel with a smoke and a HG grenade, and it looks like they're going to favor towards the A bomb site again. But this should be another round tied up. If Kinguin can just hold on and not give anything away this round, they can have a fighting chance to get it back into this.
So Rain again is going to dance around the site. Not quite as under much siege as before. And they have gone back to Michael playing in his default. This gives Dennis back middle. So this is exactly how Kinguin started the half. They've just made the according adjustments, and they've been correct in most cases. Interesting that Scream's all the way over at B because there hasn't been any action there, so we haven't really seen the same totals from him as Michael continues to be the man who puts his best foot forward. Dennis goes back down toward middle. And he'll find at least one, make it two. Adren walking out, and he was obliged. He anticipated the duel, but couldn't do much of it. Michael again just adding to his totals.
So this is the round where it gets really interesting. The full buy comes in from HellRaisers, and Team Kinguin have a couple of options here. I would suggest they do something pretty aggressive, maybe flash Rain in into the A storage area again and try and stop any sort of push. I think actually pushing Squeaky Door as well would be a great shout, just because you know there's some sort of set piece will be coming in from HellRaisers to be trying to adapt to what's going on and why they've lost. Is it 5 rounds in a row now? Yeah. So they'll be looking to do something a little bit different here. I think an aggressive push from CTs would be perfect. Maybe that counter boost as well.
And the boost, though, not countered, although it does have a player down below it. It's spotted. Angel saw it just before the damage could come through from Dennis, who is another player, much like Michael that continues to lead the way. In fact, I thought Michael was further ahead. He's not. Dennis now takes back the lead, but that's irrelevant. It comes back to Rain to find Doja, and that gives the man advantage. That is relevant because now King would have a real chance to close in on it yet another round. Bring this back so close. If only they could have strung the momentum a little bit sooner. Instead, they still have to play from behind, and it's still so fragile. As Kutcher spots up one in the back of the site, nade over the top, they'll trade each other. Fitting, in fact, that Fox and Kutcher do so, but Scream's there to close the round. It's now 1 the difference, and HellRaisers have to start to get frustrated at this point.
Well, 6 in a row for Kinguin means that HellRaisers get the maximum loss bonus now, so buying guns won't be too much of an issue, but they're not getting bombs down either, so they won't have full buys going into this. They will be able to get full rifle setups, but they're going to be missing the key parts of utility. I guess they'll have a few smokes, maybe a couple of Molotovs, where they won't be able to do full executions here. But all of a sudden, Kinguin are looking so strong. Ever since they got that 5 rifle setup and got rid of the AWP, the crossfires are there. They're making sure they make the vital kills. It seems a lot more efficient than when they had the AWP coming out. So HellRaisers now look like they're actually going for a fast A execute. Pop flash is coming in. Who's going to get the first frag?
Well, it looks like Rain is going to be exactly that man. Also dropping down, finding Dren as he comes through. Michael Lele got one. He's still alive as well, so they haven't been able to take out Quad. Finally they do. That gives them the chance to push forward onto the site, but the bomb's been dropped at the default. And it's also within the vision of the CTs because it gets flung just slightly too far forward to make it probable for a regrab here. And Doja, as the last man left, can do nothing of it. 14-14. Great comeback from Kinguin.
4-man for Rain as well. He's playing out of his mind right now. Amazing A control from him. He's the main reason they're holding off all these pushes onto the bomb site. And this is really difficult for HellRaisers now. They'll be going into a really shoddy buy and looking down the barrel of match point to Team Kinguin on the second map. This is getting a bit troublesome for them. What can they do here? The executes aren't working. The picks aren't working. It seems like Kinguin really have arrived since they switched their mentality to the rifles.
Can't wait till we ban everyone in chat for spoiling. As Scream. The good news is they've got a lot of people sharing misinformation, so. Pitcher's gonna put some through the smoke. Doja wants out the doorway. So very slow approach because HellRaisers yet to find an opening in the last 7 rounds. As it's all come back. This half split with 6 to start for HellRaisers is completely canceled.
And if they want to execute now, they're not going to have much to do with it. Looks like this is it. Molotov coming in. That's going to slow them down even further. And that's a wasted smoke essentially for them. But the frag does come in from Angel onto Makalele.
Double flash on Highway just to make sure that they could shift their attention back to A fully, not have to worry about a flank immediately coming up without direct mid control. But Dennis has done the task. He's taken down a Dren. But now the mid push comes in. It's Kucher to find the first kill. And now that Doja's found Rain, they should get this bomb plant. Finally, HellRaisers with something working for them. A man advantage and a full rotation for Kinguin. And it all changed just simply by taking mid. That Molotov bouncing rather awkwardly. Fox carefully and cleverly gets up on the ledge to crawl over top of it. Still takes some damage from it, but gets a kill, making this probable. Doja's at the doorway. Smart place to be as this bomb continues to tick because he'll be able to spot the cross, but it's ticking faster and faster. The trades go either way. Screams into a one-on-one. He's got the kit, but he doesn't have any utilities to bait this out from Doja, and he didn't spot him on the way by. He has to know he's there. He'll bait this out, but he's got to hold it. And unfortunately, that door opens up. Scream's just going to get off it, get the kill, but it's going to be match point now for HellRaisers.
Wow. What a round to do it as well. Absolutely nothing to play with in terms of the utility. Just had to force by, go out together, and they made that first pick onto Makalele as well. That's where it started to fall apart, and they won the clutch to one-on-one situation. Like you said, Scream had nothing to play with there. He's been very quiet this game, actually. He's going to be sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard on 13 frags. That could have been the moment for him to step up. But now, it looks like Kinguin have opted to go for a dual AWP setup. After we've been saying how strong this rifle player's been, they're doing something very audacious now. 3 players going towards B. It's going to be a full-on B push, and the AWP to cover them. Is this going to pay off? I'm not so sure.
Shots continuing to push forward, though. Delay. What HellRaisers hope to achieve. 1 HP, though, for Scream. As Makalele finding the opening pick on Doja gives them a chance to force this overtime. Remember, we saw an overtime last night in the North American qualifier. Double overtime in Game 5. It was the first one that we did see. It's MR10 if we get there, but we're getting ahead of ourselves because there's still a job to be done. And with Scream on low HP, as is Fox, that's B very weak. Now, HellRaisers don't know what we know. Therefore, they can't act accordingly as Dennis is just weighing. This is so passive. He doesn't want anyone to work in the middle, but at the same time, he doesn't want to take an overextended peek. Does allow Angel to walk up the side, but he's spotted on that flash. Well played by Dennis, because initially he was just watching the vent to make sure they don't split the B site. And now they're going to go, though. He gets into vent Kutcher, so he actually gets past Dennis after staring at it for so long. And like mentioned previously, they're very low inside the B site, so this is a very good chance for HellRaisers, but Fox on the peak with the AWP does get the initial pick. And they both go down immediately after, but it brings Dennis over onto Heaven, and still gives the man advantage to Kinguin. Bomb is in play now, though, and Adren's got the sight. It's also going to be Mo. HellRaisers could close this out right now. It's on to Makalele. He's got an AWP to go for the retake, but Adren doesn't have to peek, and he's dropped in. They've definitely heard this, have they not, in the AK? It will be sufficient. Mo getting the kill, 16-14, close as you like. Map 3 incoming.
Yeah, really nice play from CT side there. Unfortunately, just let it slip away on that 29th round. And they've got to be disappointed with that. It was such a great comeback from them as well. Exciting scenes there. And it really seemed like Rain, for me, was standing up so much on that A-bomb site. He was phenomenal, getting some really important frags there. But it just wasn't enough. the first half was too weak for them.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts, actually. The fact that they gave up, once they got one CT round and started to get economy rolling, we could see how quickly that all worked for them. But, I mean, just giving up 6 rounds after the start of the half doesn't really bode well. So HellRaisers strike back. They win each other's maps. We'll take a short break. Map 3 is the decider who moves forward to play against Mouse Sports. They've flashed, he's fully blind, but as soon as his vision returns, he's able to pick up 2, potentially more, and it's a third. Kucher, great spot for HellRaisers on the first gun round. It's left.
That's all you're good for. But look how he gets into this round. 3 kills. I think the last one was a no-scope as well. That was absolutely crazy. Quick scope there.
Doja again on this flank, lining it up. Perfectly played from Doja. Again, B-Tunnels giving up, and Doja's going to close it out. He not move. He stays in the same position, so Michael Lele hits Mo on the second shot, and I'm surprised there wasn't a shuffle from Mo to get out of the sight.